I could enjoy things more. There's some routes I won't take on moral grounds. Shame, for example. In the UK, shame is a very popular way to try and buck people's ideas up. Make them have fun with some shame. Like those people who tell you horrible facts to try and cheer you up, as if that makes sense. You know? As in, like, you go, oh my God, look at all the flights are cancelled. My whole holiday's fucking ruined. I can't go. I can't make it. And they go, well, people are being murdered in Afghanistan. So, and you go, oh, now I am sad about two things. Thank you. I've never understood how that's supposed to make you feel better. But what fucking reaction do those people want from me? Oh, fuck, my holiday's ruined. Well, people are being murdered in Afghanistan. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Is that what you want, you sociopath? I mean, the worst of it was, I originally grew up, at least initially, in South Africa, so I didn't have this when I was a kid. But when I moved here, I discovered that all of you were being shamed into finishing your food using hypothetical African children. It's quite a creepy thing to discover, to be honest. I also don't know why they have to be African every time. I'd never heard it before in South Africa ever in my life. And I was at a friend's house. I was maybe 8 years old, I don't know. And his mum said it in front of me, you know. My friend wasn't finishing his food. He said, you better eat those fish fingers. There's kids in Africa who'd love those fish fingers. And I was there like... I mean, I've just come from there. I mean, maybe, I don't know. How do you know? It hasn't been mentioned. I think it was democracy we wanted. Maybe fish fingers second? To celebrate? Weird. The dinner table is no place for patronizing neo-colonial rhetoric. I think that's in Debrett's. Very, very strange. And also, again, I don't get the logic of what kind of response you want from the kid. You know, there's a kid there, I don't want to eat this fish finger. Well, you better eat that fish finger. There's a starving boy in Africa who'd love that fish finger. Oh. Well, in that case... I'll eat every crumb if it means he starves. I'd lost my appetite, Mother, till you mentioned the dying boy. I'll eat it just to keep it from his little fingers. It's the reaction of a demon. The only logical reaction is my reaction. I don't want this fish finger. Well, there's a starving boy in Africa who'd love that fish finger. What? You're telling me that this fish finger that I do not want could save the life of another little boy? We're fucking quick. What are we even talking for? Quick, get a fucking refrigerated envelope or something. I don't know. Wait, how long have you known about this? Decades? I'm 8. That's going to be my defense at The Hague. Quick, give me the fucking envelope. Quick, quick, quick. Where are we sending this? Africa? We got to narrow that down. That's why I said hypothetical African children, by the way. Not because there are no hungry African children, of course there are, but your parents just didn't have a specific village in mind, shall we say? Or country. If we're honest with ourselves. Just, you know, Africa, that fucking country. It's a very strange way to decide if something's any good. Imagining a hypothetical African boy and wondering if they'd envy you. Enjoy it or don't. Am I enjoying myself? I'll imagine an African boy. And if I think he'd envy me, I'm having a good time. It's really creepy.
Grade 1s. Bit of shush, please. Our next oral presentation is from Randy Feltface, who will be reading his oral presentation on this year's bicentennial of Australia.
you. It's great to be here, grade ones. How about a hand for everybody's favourite nun, Sister Dimpner? Sister Dimpner's uniform is looking a little scruffy today. I guess it's just one of her bad habits. Okay. Apparently, Sister Dimpner walks 20 miles before school every morning. I guess that's why they call her a Roman Catholic. I've got lots of these grade ones. Please get on board. This year is 1988, which is the bicentenary of Australia. Knock, knock. Colin. Colonisation. Only joking. Colonisers don't knock before they come in. Aboriginal people had lived in Australia for thousands of years before it was discovered by Portuguese sailors in the 1500s. Then it was discovered by Dutch explorers in the 1600s. Then it was discovered by Captain Cook in 1770. I don't know how a place can be discovered if there are already people living there, but I still use Velcro shoelaces, so what would I know? Which reminds me, what is Australian history's most famous ship? Censorship! Pew, 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 pew. Cutting edge material for the late 80s. Pew, 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 pew. Ew, pew, 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 pew. On the 26th of January, 1788, Captain Arthur Phillip hosted the first ever barbecue for him and his crew and the 850 criminals he brought with him. We don't celebrate it as a national holiday yet, but those colourful criminals with their rich tapestry of fantastic backstories would go on to be the founders of a surprisingly boring society. Which reminds me, why did the insomniac get sent to the Australian penal colony? They were resisting arrest. I'm only 7, Jesus. Now it is 200 years later. There are 16 million people living in Australia. Bob Hawke is our Prime Minister, and you can buy a 3-bedroom house in Sydney for $90,000. Yeah, just let that sink in for a second. To celebrate the bicentennial, Brisbane is hosting Expo 88, which will no doubt be the most interesting thing to happen in Brisbane for the next 200 years. In summary, sovereignty was never ceded, but sausages are on special. Thank you. I'll see you all at the monkey bars after the show.
Man, my brother has what I like to call hood logic. You know, sound logic that sounds stupid, right? My brother smokes weed. So before he smokes a blunt, he'll take his jacket off, smoke the whole blunt, put his jacket back on and be like, "Can you smell it? Can you smell the weed?" I'm like, "Yes, nigga." Just because you whispering don't mean you not loud. Here's hood logic, right? Sound logic that sounds stupid. I was young. One time I didn't know how to talk to girls. So I asked my brother for advice. And he looks at me and he goes, "Listen, you can't treat a queen like a hoe because she won't allow it. And you can't treat a hoe like a queen because she won't appreciate it." And I was like, "Nigga, I'm 12. This note says, do you like me, yes or no? Do I give it to the bitch or not? What is this riddle?" It's crazy, man. My brother's insane, dog. In 2019, he went back to prison because he got homesick, right? We all got one in the family. And in that moment, I decided to give up my Hollywood apartment. I was living in Hollywood, pursuing my dreams at the time. And once I heard the news, I said, I'm giving that up and I'm moving back to Compton so that he has a house to return to when he gets out, right? And people were like, "Why would you do that? You're going back to Compton." I'm like, it's my hometown. What's the worst that can happen, right? 6 months later, I get shot at by my neighbor. And I only call him my neighbor because I no longer feel comfortable calling him my friend from high school. I got shot at over pussy I didn't even get, right? And this all took place early. So for context, right? My friend, right, lived in the back house. I lived in the front house. Front house is a full house. The back house is about as big as this fucking stage, right? But he had 2 cars, which screamed financial responsibility. So one day he was at work, and at 6 a.m., this guy comes over and keys his second car while it's in the driveway. My friend sees this on the Ring camera at work, leaves work to come home. He gets home by 7 a.m. to assess the damage. By 8 a.m., I get up, because that's when I usually get up. My morning routine consists of yoga, smoothies, and meditation, like most niggas from Compton. I'm thinking I'm about to have a great day. I get up, I notice my brother's car is on the street. He's about to get a ticket for street sweeping. So I go out to move his car. My friend sees on the Ring camera somebody by my brother's car, just grabs his gun, runs outside without even looking, shoots. Bah! Right? The bullet missed me and killed our friendship, right? I was like, unfollow, right? And then I confront him. I was in shock. I was like, how the fuck could you shoot at me? What is wrong with you? And he goes, my bad. Turns around, walks back into the house. And I was frustrated. I was furious. I was like, this ain't where this is about to end. So I get my gun, and I call another friend to bring his gun, because 2 guns is better than 1. We go to the back house. I knock on the door. Hey, bro, you gotta move. He immediately goes, you right. You can't shoot at the landlord, dog. It trumps loud music, late payments. You know? And I know some of y'all probably thinking, that's it? You didn't call the cops? I didn't. He was my friend and a felon in possession of an illegal firearm that I sold him. I didn't know I had to put "don't shoot at me" on the receipt. I have a crazy family, bro. And you would think my brothers are probably the craziest in my family, but it's not. It's my sister, you know? Because she almost killed a dude, her husband. Well, she didn't almost kill him, right? He attempted suicide. He failed, but he tried. And she would have me believe that this took place because she asked for a divorce. So he got all worked up and jumped off a 2-story building into a massive pile of medical bills. I don't think that's what happened, right? Because at the time that this happened, they were arguing. And my sister can argue. What I think he tried to do was end the argument in a very extreme way. But you can't do that, fellas. You're not gonna end the argument with your girl, especially your wife. So what did she do? Go to the hospital. To do what? End the argument. This man broke his leg, his arm. He had a cut around his chin. She still went to the hospital, sat right next to his bed while he was hanging off of dear beeps. Beep. And she says, look at your dumb ass. You can't take a little criticism, can you? Here you go, always saying you're gonna do something you never do. And then she got mad. It's like, divorce me. She grabbed his arm, the nigga woke up.
I live in London now. Cheers, I had a great introduction to England, because on the flight over to England was a hen party from a place called Essex in England. And these were not good people, you know. These women were so drunk, they didn't realise they were on a flight, you know. They were so drunk at the start of the flight, I genuinely heard the pilot make an announcement over the loudspeaker, and one of them said, the music's fucking shit in here. The music shit change it, I don't like it. But she seems to like it. She's dancing. She seems to like it. It was the woman doing the fucking demonstration, right? She seems to like it, right? That's my impression of an Essex woman drunk, right? So I'm sitting across from three of these mad fuckers. They're sitting here, I'm sitting here, and one of their friends comes up to talk to them from another row. Just waddles up to talk to them. About fucking nothing, by the way. She just comes up, all right, girls, what's it like down here? It's all right, what's it like down there? Same, really, same. And in that moment, as an Irish person, it was the first time I understood Brexit. You know, like, I was like, that's right, these are not Europeans, you know, like, these are not descendants of Da Vinci, for fuck's sake, you know? So, they're stupid. And, so, next thing, your one was standing up, she's standing here, I'm sitting here, and she turned to me, and she did the most ignorant thing to me, but in the most beautiful way. She just turned to me and she went, sorry, babe, do you mind if I just... And she sat on top of me. Are you listening to what I fucking said? Now, I'm like most of ye. I'm from the south of Ireland, not the north. So this was my first experience of English oppression. You know, like, if I'm honest, I could feel myself becoming a terrorist. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, we need to unite this country. 6 counties, I want them back. Like, I could feel a balaclava growing around my face, you know. Turned out just to be her back hair. But, oh, she was a hairy fucker, she was, yeah. But sure, you really think about it, that's exactly what England did to Ireland historically, isn't it? Exact same thing. They just drunkenly looked across the Irish Sea and they just went, sorry, babe, do you mind if I just... And they sat on top of Ireland for 800 fucking years, right? Then finally the War of Independence, we were like, get the fuck off us! And they were like, we're going. But they didn't fucking go, did they? They just scooched up a bit, the bastards, right? Now that's a very clever geographical joke, so don't worry about it there. I could see the bewilderment. Yeah, they didn't fucking pay for these. I didn't pay to think, that's for sure, ain't you? Yeah, fucking idiot. I can kick you as well. I don't know, it's great being in Dublin. Jeez, meet some characters here as well, man. I was back here a couple of months ago. I was on Dublin bus, a beautiful transport vehicle, and stunning, you know. And I was on Dublin bus, and I went back down to the back of the bus, and there was this owl lad down there, and he was drinking a can of harp. Now, if you don't know harp, it's that kind of like liquidized depression, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I would describe it. And I made the big mistake of making eye contact with him, right? And he just shook the can of harp at me. He said, would you like a drop of harp? And I said, fuck it, yeah, go on, you know. I was like, I'd forgotten my earphones, you know what I mean? I was like, this fucker can be today's podcast, you know. So anyway, I sat down beside him and I immediately learned some very interesting things about him, right? Like, for one thing, this was not his first time drinking harp. And I know that because he told me. He said, I've been drinking harp for 30 years. Am I right or am I wrong? I was like, you fucking look right, you know. You look like you've been playing a harp with your face for the last 30 years, to be honest, you know. You do not look well, my friend, you know. And he said, yeah. He said, you're a good young fella. Am I right or am I wrong? I said, by God, he's right again, you know. I said, that's 2 out of 2. I started to think, has he ever been wrong, you know? And then next he said, listen, I have to tell you something. And this I was like, oh, Jesus, don't tell me he's my real father, you know. That'd be a nightmare, you know. I said, what is it, right? And he said, oi, I'm a member of the IRA. And I didn't know what to fucking say. So I just panicked and went, nice, right? And then he just goes, nice, yeah. But then that gave him like confidence. And he just said, would you maybe want to be a member of the IRA? And again, I was like, fuck it, yeah, go on, you know, like, I'm not doing nothing else today. Let's unite the fucking country, you know? And that was it. I was in the IRA, you know? And I have to say that being in the IRA, it felt very, very similar to not being in the IRA, you know? almost identical, I would say, you know. What was fucking exciting though, because it turned out, get this, that my first mission as a member of the IRA was to give this lad money for more cans of heart. That was my first. He said, "You're gonna donate to the cause. Am I right or am I wrong?" I said, "First one you've got wrong all day, you cunt." He's human after all, I said, you know.
The song that I'm about to play is dedicated to anybody in a long-term relationship. This is called It's a Trap. It's not what you think. I love love. I want people to be in love. I want people to find somebody. I want that, you know. Clearly I have some intimacy issues, you know. So if there's any ladies out there who want to fix me, I am a nightmare, so. All right, this is called It's a Trap. Yo, me and my girl, we getting ready to go out to a dinner party. But now I'm thinking maybe we got time to get a little naughty. So I gently put my hands all up on her body and she's like, "Stop that, not right now." It's already relatable for some of you guys. Can I ask you a question? Yes, you can. Do you think that I put on some weight? Oh shit. What do I do? What do I say? If I'm wrong tonight, I'm gonna have to masturbate. Do I tell the truth? 'Cause she's looking kinda thick now. And I like it, but I know she's gonna flip out. So I tell her, "You look fine." And I already see the anger in her eyes. That's not even what I fucking asked you. I'm walking down the street with my lover when she catches me looking at another girl. And she's like, "Do you think she's pretty?" Well, not as pretty as you. There you go again with your bullshit. Well, I guess she's attractive, so now you wanna have sex with other people. Wow, this escalated quickly. Everybody in the city is staring. Girl, you putting me in a knowing situation. You looking for a fight or some validation. That's why you asking me all these trick questions. And then you hit me with how many people have you slept with. Oh my God. That's irrelevant. Well, if it is, then why don't you say it? 'Cause if I do, you probably lose it. No, I won't. Yes, you will. No, I won't. Okay, I don't know, maybe like 60 or so. What the fuck? That's super gross. Why did you tell me? And if she asks you, do I look fat? Don't even answer that, 'cause it's a trap. And if she tells you, maybe we could split the check, you already know what I think of that. But is there a mariachi band in here all of a sudden? Oh my goodness. It's that Mexican Coke apparently, dude. But I get it. You just want somebody that sees you the way that you forget to. Like you, Anna, and your boo-boo. Your body language tells me things are going well in your relationship. You, dude, how many people have you had sex with in your life? You know, come on. You know what, bro? It's okay, it's okay. Enjoy the car ride home. No, I get it. Because you know it's going to be like, that guy, he was fun. That was fun, right? But like, just for like how many people? Just tell me. I don't care. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Now, who was married in the crowd? Who was any married couples in the crowd? You? Is that your wife next to you? All right. I'm gonna give you a chance to look real good, dude. How long have you guys been married? Give it up for them 26 years. And I just want to ask you a question. Does your wife look the same as when you met her? That's the right answer. Yes. That's the right answer. I hope you guys do some oral tonight. And if she asks you, and if she, because that's love, you know, that later. Okay. And if she asks you, do I look fat? Don't even answer that, because it's a trap. Thank you guys.
This is what's going to happen, okay? We're just telling jokes. They're just jokes. Just jokes, okay? This is comedy. Comedy. Look, the word's right there. Comedy, okay? Just let's all remember that. No one's allowed to get offended. A lot of people are getting offended very easily these days. And then everyone's just worried about saying the wrong thing. And I know that you are, because you do the same thing that I do. If you're driving along in your car and you've got passengers in your car and you answer a phone call and it goes on speakerphone, the first thing you say is, just letting you know that you're on speaker and there's other people in the car. You may as well say, don't talk about the shit we usually talk about. There's other people here. They won't get our humour, they'll judge us. Everyone's terrified of offending. You can't offend Australians, you can't. You tried. You tried with Outback Steakhouse, you tried. Fuck you, America. How dare you? How dare you? Just a fabrication franchise throughout your entire country. That's a complete mockery of my whole culture. And you guys are totally fine with that. Are you totally fine? What the fuck is a bloomin' onion? I've never heard of that in my life. It's a staple dish in this establishment. You all know it. It's a deep fried onion the size of a football. It's what they eat. It's what they eat down under, you know? We don't call it down under either, by the way. We're there. We're there. We don't call you up over or whatever you are. I'm not offended by Outback Steakhouse. I think it's hilarious. I don't care. There's more stupid shit that we've done in my country that you can make fun of. Much more embarrassing stuff. I'll give you 3 examples, okay? These are 3 examples of some stupid shit that we've done in my country. So if you ever meet Australians, bring these ones up instead of Outback Steakhouse. So in the 60s, we had a Prime Minister who drowned. He was Prime Minister at the time. His name was Harold Holt. He drowned swimming off the coast of Australia, never to be found again. And in Melbourne, Australia, where I'm from, in his honour, we built the Harold Holt Swimming Centre. He fucking drowned, and we built a swimming centre in his honour. What a pack of arseholes. So I grew up in a place called Shark Bay, okay? Shark with an R, okay? I don't pronounce my R's, okay? I don't have time. Shark, okay? Shark, like a shark. You know what a shark is. Fuck you, all right? Like Dana. You know what a shark is. Stop it. So Shark Bay, it never dawned on me how ridiculous this was. When I was a teenager, the local government realised that no tourists were coming to the area for obvious reasons. So they changed the name
to Safety Beach. That's the complete opposite of Shark Bay. They did nothing to improve safety, nothing. There's sharks there, a fucking lot of them. And now they're just luring tourists into a death trap, basically. Like, yeah, nah, come in, nah, it's Safety Beach, it's totally fine, yeah. Yeah, it's totally safe, yeah, go swimming, of course, why not? Ooh, oh no, that's not a shark. That's a safety shark. It's a dolphin, you pussy, get out there. What the hell's wrong with you? So I moved to America. I moved to Hollywood. That's where I moved first from Australia. My plan was to go to Hollywood, become a star. And I'd said that to my friends. When I was leaving, I said, I'm going to go to Hollywood. And they all went, Hollywood, you dickhead. I'll give you 6 months. I'll give you 6 months, and then you'll be having sex with some old lady in Malibu just to pay your rent. That's what they said. They all laughed at me, and I went, no, I'm going to go to Hollywood and be a famous comedian. So I moved to Hollywood. I was there for about 6 months, and this old lady from Malibu came up to me. This happened after a comedy show. This old lady came up to me and she said, I'm having a private party down at my house in Malibu. It's all Australian themed. I'd like you to come and perform. And I thought, oh no, shit, it's happening. It's happening. My friends predicted it and it's happening. And I thought, surely she can't pay me enough money. And then she went, I'll pay you $3,000. And I went, oh, look, what time do you need me to be there? What time? So I went down to her racist party and I'm aware Australia's not a race, but anyway. I went down there. She would have spent $100,000 on this afternoon garden party. It was all Australian themed for her 12 friends. That's all that were there. I was the only Australian. It was fucking weird. It was like an Australian version of Get Out. That's what it felt like. I thought, this doesn't seem safe. I need to leave. And I said to the old lady, I said, do you want me to get up and tell jokes? Do you want me to do stand-up? Is that why I'm here? And she said, no, I don't want you to do that. I just want you to walk around and just be Australian. That's what she said to me. And then she had a handler there. I'm not making this up. They handed me a kangaroo on a leash. A real-life kangaroo. You don't hold a kangaroo on a leash. That's a very strange thing to do. That's like one of you guys having a bald eagle as a kite. Just like, oh. Jesus, why did we get a bald eagle kite? This is ridiculous. He's already shat on Grandma twice. Why did we... So that's what it felt like, having a kangaroo on a leash. And I'm walking around this lady's backyard, just with a kangaroo on a leash, just going up to her 12 guests going, g'day guys, how you going? Yeah, it's a kangaroo. I didn't think that'd be here either, but here we are. Hello. Anyway... shrimp on the barbie, dingo's got my baby, have a nice night! Just saying the stupidest shit that I could think of. Do you know how embarrassing that was? Walking around with a kangaroo on a leash? I would have rather had sex with the old lady, that would be less embarrassing. The kangaroo was embarrassed. He looked up at me and said, do you think if we both fuck her, we can leave? And I went, I don't know, that sounds illegal. I don't think we should entertain that idea. Picture how horrifically offensive that party is, by the way. Put any other culture in that position, how offensive that would be. But we're all laughing, because Australia doesn't count, and I know that. I know that, and I'm okay with that. But she couldn't do that with any other culture. She couldn't say to a couple of guys from India, "Okay, you Indian guys? Yep, come on in, come on in. Okay, you're just going to be in this 7-Eleven here, okay?" I don't want you to just get angry if anyone comes in. Just be like, stop reading the magazines. Get out of here. She can't do that. But she can't say, "Okay, and you 6 Mexican guys, can you go on the other side of the fence and just try and get into the party the whole time?" Just remember that we're all friends. We're all friends here. Let's all remember, Outback Steakhouse is a thing that exists. Let's all remember.
Dash, have you got that picture? I want to show you guys in case you thought I was making that up. Have a look at the t-shirt they made me wear. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. Walking around the yard. Look how big the kangaroo is. That would have beat the shit out of me. $3,000. I'd do it again tomorrow.
I'm gonna give you a sex move. A sex move. Take home. Ladies, it's a fun game. Don't judge it. It's called Babe, Guess Who's Fucking You? All right. She's looking that way. She's in doggy style. And then you're behind her, of course, and all the lights are out, TV light is out, music is out, nothing's pitch black. And she'll forget after a minute that y'all are playing. And fellas, that's when you do your best voice. That's when you commit to doing your best voice. Whoever you know how to do, you do it. And that's how you play the game. So it's dark, you having sex, and in the middle of nowhere, she hear, "First time I saw Andy walk into Shawshank." And then she'd be like, "Oh, wait a minute, Morgan Freeman is fucking me. Morgan Freeman is fucking me." You gotta get busy living or get busy dying. You having sex, and then all of a sudden she hear, "Hope! Change!" If we get our blue states and our red states to work together, we can be one sticky state. Idris Elba. I saw Idris Elba at Essence Fest. And when he saw me, he said, "Yo, Finesse, what up, dog? You good?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, what's good? You down here at Essence?" And he's like, "Yeah, just enjoying myself." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "All right, cool." And then these girls said, "Oh my God, Idris Elba!" He was like, "1 second, Finesse. Hello, ladies, how you doing? And I would really like to, so hot here, and you're looking so lovely." I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" I knew it. Stringer bell, I knew it. Denzel, I'm putting cases on all you motherfuckers. You'll be swimming in Pelican Bay by the time I'm through with you. Huh? You do this to me? King Kong. No, I'm just kidding. Ice Cube. Tell me one person in the hood who play like that. You done smoked this man weed, and you ain't got his money? But that's pretty much how you play the game. Did y'all? Kurt Franklin, no. Or give it to me now. Turn myself around. Gets me high. Kevin Hart. Okay. All right, okay. I just got canceled. Trump. I got the biggest dick in the history of dicks. Everybody's saying it. Everybody's saying it. I'm about to come in lightning speed. Lightning speed.
I'm actually from Ohio. Yeah, that's right. That felt as welcoming as it should have. Man, if you've never been to Ohio, you don't got them. You absolutely don't. I don't care who died there. Send an email, okay? You do not have to go. It's so trash. Oh my God. I'm not even from like a fun part of Ohio. I didn't get like Cleveland or Cincinnati. Nothing fun. I'm from the middle of nowhere, like hour west of Columbus, surrounded by cornfields. Country, the sticks, we call it. Population like 1,500 people. Like the kind of small town where like the gas station's also the grocery store. You know what I mean? Fuck around, get some sandwiches and some diesel. You here? Why not save a trip? My hometown was so country, man. We used to have drive your tractor to school day. Swear to God. Do you guys remember School Spirit Week? Where like every day of the week would have a theme to it, like pajama day or twin day. We would have one day in that week when like the rich kids would pull up and just fucking flex on us, John Deere style. And the women in my school would just get wet. Like, oh my Lord, he's got land. Because that's all people cared about where I was from, was fucking farming. Like you didn't need 8 inches if you had 8 acres. Like that was the biggest flex you could come with. You couldn't compete with a farmer. If he's plowing land, he could plow your bitch, straight up. Like, there's just nothing you could do. Nothing you could do. But it's the type of small town where, like, life just kind of dissipates. You know what I mean? Like, everyone lives the exact same life timeline. Like, you go to high school, you get pregnant, then you graduate, maybe, and then you get a job, get married, and so on and so forth. Then you die in this hometown. It's depressing. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do for fun there. Everybody just drinks and does drugs, but not cool like we do it. You know? Theirs is because they're sad. It's so depressing, man. I didn't realize drugs were as big of a problem when I was living there. But apparently it's gotten worse. I found out about 3 or 4 weeks ago, this kid who I went to school with, he was like 2 grades older than me. We didn't know each other too well, but there's only like 300 people in a school, so we kind of know each other. Found out like 3 or 4 weeks ago, this kid OD'd from heroin in this town at his job. The same job he got when we were in high school. He lived and died there. And obviously the whole town got together and they mourned the loss of their dealer. No, guys, don't get weird, okay? There's a silver lining moment. The whole town, I swear to God, they started a GoFundMe and they raised enough money so that they could get him a memorial bench at his favorite park, which I thought was a really sweet memento, you know, to provide other people seating to do their heroin. I've never done heroin, but I imagine you want to sit down. Okay, whatever. You guys don't know him. Okay, I'm just giving you a little perspective. I could have been a bench, okay? But I'm not. Nothing like where I'm from. It's so weird. I'm good looking. I don't like it any more than you guys do, okay? This is not good for comedy, okay? And it's so weird for me. My looks are so confusing to me because you guys haven't known me my entire life, so you have no context of this, but this shit just happened. Puberty hit me so disrespectfully late. I was ugly as shit for the first 22 years of my life. I was so ugly for so long. If I would have been on Wayfair, they would have returned me immediately. Like, I was so ugly. No, okay? I spent the first 22 years of my life building a personality for what? You think I need to be funny now? No, it's a fucking waste of my time, to be honest. It's gotten me nowhere. And it's so weird because when you spend so much of your life as one thing and then you're drastically changing to something else overnight, it fucks with you emotionally. Like, it's still so new to me that I don't quite grasp it. I don't see myself that way. Like, I know I look like every fuckboy ever, but I do identify as an ugly person. So I think that does technically make me trans. Trans handsome, transom. We wait till we get our bathrooms. It's gonna be all mirrors, bunch of pretty people doing cocaine. It's gonna be dope, and y'all can't come. It's so weird, man. It's such a drastic lifestyle change, too, because people treat you so different. Like, nobody likes attractive people, right? You assume their lives are easier. Like, there's no sympathy for pretty people at all. Which is another thing you guys might not know about me is I have clinical depression and an anxiety disorder. And you guys are just waiting for the punchline. That's how fucked up it is that I can come up here and vent to y'all, basically being like, help! And y'all like, get your cute ass out of here. And it's not funny. Awesome. Okay. It's so weird. There's no sympathy for pretty people. No one gives a fuck how sad you are if you have high cheekbones at all. People act like I don't have any problems at all. I could be crying my eyes out in bed and people are just like, what could you possibly be so upset about, huh? I bet you're just swimming in pussy. And it's like, yeah, but you know what I'm not swimming in? Self-confidence, security, believe it or not. Someone who listens to me. I can't even hang myself because my jawline will cut the fucking rope. And I'm just on the ground, handsome. Even if I did die, it's gotta be an open casket. People are like, God damn, he looks good in a suit. That's really nice. Blue is his color. That is nice. There's no sympathy for pretty people. You guys are lucky. Count your blessings, uggos. Shit ain't sweet up here either, okay? Everybody's dealing with shit. I just want you to remember that. Remember that. Next time you're in bed, having the worst day, crying your eyes out, and your friends are by your bedside or blowing up your phone, like, oh my God, are you okay? Is there anything we can do to make you feel better? What's wrong? Just remember, it means you're ugly. I don't make up the rules, okay? I'm sorry. If you were cute, they'd be like, get up, bitch, we're going to the club. 3 milli rocks. Be right back to it. No problem, but rules are rules. It's weird because it's given me the perspective of not judging people based on how they look. I'm a big fan of that. That's why I like the masks. Love it. You don't know who's ugly with a mask on, do you? It's kind of a fun game to play, isn't it? Just walking them through the grocery store like, does this bitch have a beak? Like, you don't know what people's situations are. You got to get to know them before you can judge. Like, you wouldn't be able to just assume I'm a douchebag if I have my mask on. You'd have no basis. I could walk into any Starbucks with my mask on. They would just think I'm any random lesbian. You know what I mean? I could be anybody. Could be anybody. They go in, they're like, what's your name? I'm like, Matt. They're like, you are so brave. And the code to your bathroom is 47.
I feel very lucky nowadays. I've got really lovely friends. And I feel very, very lucky for that. Because I grew up without many friends at all, really. I found making friends at school very, very difficult. And I think it's because I was hiding who I was. I couldn't really be myself. I was always on edge. I was worried that people were going to find out something about me. So I never really had any mates. But don't worry, there's not been any sort of lasting damage. It's not like I've got to go on stage 5 times a week to make strangers laugh, to make me feel full. It's not like that. Once a week, it's not like that. You don't need to worry. But there was one girl at school that picked on me every single day. She picked on me every day. Now, I mentioned before, I know I'm not a super famous person, I've got a low level of fame, but occasionally I pop up on the telly. And every single time I pop up on the telly, this girl that picked on me the whole way through school slides into my DMs. Like, oh, hi, Suze, how are you doing? Great to see how well you're doing. I saw you on Mastermind last night. Well done. Oh, my God, next time you're in Portsmouth, me and you, we should go for a drink. Like, yeah, we should. It'll be arsenic. She was horrible to me. But now, because she's started following me, I've started following her. And apparently when you follow someone you don't like, it's called hate following. Everyone that's just laughed are the bitches in the room. They've just really outed themselves. Hey, that one that clapped is the queen bitch. No, don't worry, I'm not knocking you, I'm doing it too, okay? It's not big, it's not clever, okay? But it means when you just go on their page occasionally just to go, I fucking hate you. Done up your lounge, have you? Grey, is it? Living, laughing, loving, are you? Sailing Dunelm, was there? You know, bitchy. But I've now become slightly obsessed by her life. It's not grown up. This isn't a suggestion. Don't do this. I'm just telling you what I've done. A lot of her posts are about her husband, about how wonderful he is. She's got this wonderful husband. And it's not because they're straight. Like, I love straight people. You heard that before. Mum and Dad are straight. I love straight people. And honestly, some of my best friends are bisexual, so I do love straight people. But she put up these pictures of her husband, all in black and white, being like, he's the salt to my pepper. He's the bread to my butter. He's my light in the darkness. He's my husband. And I know it's not going as well as she's pretending, because I know that last year in Ibiza she gave a waiter a blowy. So I know it's not going as well as she's pretending. Sure, I shouldn't have written underneath, but she shouldn't have started the nickname Rough Muff while I was still a virgin. We learn, don't we? We learn, Lacey. I shouldn't say her name, we're recording this. Can't like that. I obviously didn't write it underneath. I'm not that brave. I did the classy thing. I screen grabbed it and popped it in a WhatsApp group. I did the classy thing. But she constantly tries to virtue signal. Now, I'm not talking about people sharing important information that we all need to learn about. She is constantly wanting to tell people that she is a good person, because she is the devil. She's constantly trying to tell people that she's a great person. One of the ways that she does this, and I've got to be very careful with this material because my audience are always lovely people, so I mean it with love. But she needs to let everyone know that her pet's from a rescue centre. I'm just going to say one thing. Once you've rescued your dog, it's just your fucking dog. You don't need to refer to it as a rescue dog. It's just a dog. It's your dog now. You've rescued it. Well done. We're all very proud. She does the same about her cats. Look at my cats. Look at my adopted cats. Look at my little adopted cats. I adopted all of them. If I hadn't adopted these cats, they'll be out on the Edgware Road turning tricks. Look, I adopted these cats. All cats are adopted. Even if you paid for your cat, you adopted your fucking cat. No one is birthing cats. No one's having a litter of cats. If you are, leave this show, go to the Natural History Museum, it's just down the road. But virtue signalling isn't the worst of social media. I saw some of the worst of social media a little while ago, and this bit's quite awkward because it was from a family member. Now, my mum's asked me not to do this bit, but we're here, she's not, fuck it. I've got a cousin called Danny, he's a conspiracy theorist, and he is deep in QAnon stuff. He thinks that Donald Trump is still the president. He also has started believing that the world is flat. This all began for him during the pandemic. He was very, very, very anti-vax. From the get-go, he was very, very anti-vax. Now, I was very pro-vax. I'm not interested in other people's statuses. I'm just letting you know I was very, very, very pro-vax. So I was willing to believe, that doctors, nurses, immunologists, people who spent their whole lives studying medicine knew more than me. Me, who has 4 GCSEs, a worry doll, and an AS level in contemporary dance. It's useless. Can't go into a vaccine centre and go, this is all very well, but have you tried this? You have? Please, continue. I was bang up for the vaccine. I was first in the queue. Well, I wasn't first. I wasn't first. He wasn't like, fuck off, therefore you've had your time. No, I thought... When they called me, I went, that's what I'm saying. When they called me, I went. I went down to the vaccine centre. So we still lived in South London. I went to Lewisham. I had my jab, and the next day I put it up on Facebook. I said, look, if you're worried about going, I went to Lewisham, it was great, it was so well organised, all the volunteers were fantastic, the doctors and the nurses there, brilliant. It was all very, very safe, it was distanced, everyone was masked up. I've got my jab, I feel absolutely fine, you know, thank God for science, you know, and I don't know if that's an oxymoron. But here we are. And I posted it, and Danny got in touch. The thing is, Suze, all in caps, the thing is, Suze, do you know what's in it? Do you know what's in it? And I was like, no. But I don't know what's in any medicine I've ever had. Because I don't know most things. Don't come to me for the answers, I ain't got them. I don't know how I'm talking into this. And it's coming out of that. Don't understand that. Don't know how the internet's. Through the air, what is this witchcraft? I don't know how the telly gets on the telly. When I'm on the telly, I look at it and go, how'd you get in there? I don't understand it. I don't know how them lights are working. I don't know how those lights are working. I know that for an afternoon in primary school, the teacher gave us a potato and a fork and it charged a battery. So I can only assume hidden round the room, there's a load of Jackie P's keeping these boys on. I understand it. Danny was one of those people that was doing his own research. He was doing his own research. I'm doing my own research, Suze, I'm doing my own research. Thought, fucking hell, I can't wait to find out what a part-time scaffolder with a cocaine problem in a basement flat in Portsmouth finds out that the World Health Organisation has missed. But as soon as you got your data, drop me a text, you dozy prick. People are awful on the internet. People are terrible on the internet. A little while ago, a man got in touch with me to send me 14 pictures of his penis. I'll say the thing we're all thinking. 14's a weird number. To me, that feels like a shoot. You know, we've taken these pictures, we're taking it to the client for their opinion. My opinion, no, I don't love it. Not for me. Not for me. Now, I don't know much about willies. I don't have much experience with willies. I was straight for a month when I was 18. I haven't got the wrists. But is it fair to say, people that are au fait with the cock of van, is it fair to say that the happier a penis is, ooh, the more furious it looks? Is it fair to say that? Oh, it was happy, but it looked cross. It looked really cross. Just staring at me through the laptop like that. And so I put on some women's drawers, some like frilly knickers, right? I thought, that's fine, you know, if you want to do that, go for it, babe, I don't need to see it. But then what he did was he popped his angry pork sword out the side of it, then just draped the lace over the top. It looked like an old lady looking around some net curtains, just... That image will stay with you, I am ever so sorry. My dad referred to that bit as a bit much, which I think we can all agree is quite fair. I scrolled down, I realised he'd sent me a message as well. I thought, oh, an artist and a writer, what a coup. He said, hi, Suze, which I thought was a very casual way to start an online harassment. I hope you like these photos, if not, no wuzzers. So cash! Some wuzzers, you fucking creepy bastard. Some wuzzers. Some wuzzers. So many wuzzers, mate. So many wuzzers. But then what happened is that he must have been able to see that I had seen it. It must have seen underneath. And then he logged on and he sent me a little thumbs up. And I'm going to tell you, Bloomsbury, to me, that was the creepiest bit. Because that tells me he has done that and then had no shame. There are people walking through this life. No shame. I think that is terrifying. I have got so much shame. I've got so much shame, and I have never sent anyone a picture of a Jack and Danny. Okay, I don't even know how you get the angles. I've got so much shame. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes with shame. I call it my 3 a.m. press conference. It's when all the voices in my head meet up at the same time to go, "You're a prick," and just remind me of something embarrassing I've done throughout my life. Woke me up the other day with an online embarrassment that I did years ago. About 8 years ago, I had a terrible breakup. It was really bad, right? And I don't want to be one of those comedians that's like, let me tell you how it is, let me tell you. But let me tell you, I was doing #self-care before we all knew about self-care. Okay, I was a very early adopter of the self-care movement. I'd been dumped, and I decided the best thing to do would be for me to drink a bottle of red, smoke a pack of fags, and do a deep dive onto her Facebook for her and the boy she left me for. Self-care, okay? And I'm just going through the pictures. Just... Oh, it's clearer. And in my drunkenness, I accidentally tagged myself in a picture of her and her new boyfriend as the candle on the table. Like I was Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast, just hey! Remember me? You've ruined my life. I'm still having shame shudders about that, and he's sending people pictures of his dick and then a thumbs up. It worries me. It worries me about the fact that one day my daughter will be old enough to have a social media account. And it might not be all the ones that we're using at the minute, but there'll probably be something. And it worries me. It really frightens me. I am so relieved that when I was growing up, I didn't have to contend with social media. I had such a tough time all day at school. If I then had to go home and worry about how much likes a photo got, I think I would have lost my mind. I really think I would have lost my mind because I wasn't cool at school. Never got a gasp, done the show 75 times. Thanks, Bloomsbury. And I wasn't cool. I wasn't cool at school, but I did do one cool thing. I did one cool thing. I went to see Destiny's Child. Oh, not such a loser now, am I? Mum got me tickets to see Destiny's Child for me and my one friend. When she gave them to me, she said, "Suze, this is your first present, your second present. Tonight, after school, I'm taking you to Tammy Girl and you can have whatever you want." Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, to wear to the concert, right? I saw it across the room as soon as I entered. Now, this will make sense to maybe 7 people, but this is really for you, okay? The Survivor video had just come out, so I knew I needed denim. You remember. I saw it across the room. Denim, catsuit. With a zip all the way up the front, okay? My titties were even smaller than they are now, so it was just rib. Just some lovely rib, okay? Mum said to me, "Suze, don't wear that. Don't wear that. Save it for best. Save it for the concert." So I went upstairs, save it for best. The trouble was, my birthday's in January. The concert was in August, right? 8 months rolls around. I had a teenage growth spurt. The night before, Mum says, "Go and put it on, let's see how you look." It had divorced my ankles, married my knees, and I had a camel toe that was catching in the back of my throat, okay? Right? Denim is an unforgiving fabric, let me tell you. My mother in her infinite wisdom said, don't you worry, my baby. I have got some brown leather fringing upstairs. I'll just pop that round the bottom. I went to Wembley looking like a Shire horse. A Shire horse with a camel toe. Do you know how relieved I am I didn't have to try and get likes on that photo?